babes, so today is the day I'm finally bringing you my breast implant Q&A update video. I'm not gonna leave anything out, so this is gonna be a very long video. I already know it's going to be a long video, so if you don't like long videos, I'm sorry, but I just want to make sure everybody has all the information. So let's get started. Okay, so the first question is, how did you deal with the tissue hardening after? Once you start massaging, which is about close to 2 weeks after, I believe it was about a week for me that I started massaging. After that, it doesn't feel too bad, but I mean, you just feel rock hard. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but your skin is all stretched out. There wasn't anything I did to deal with it. There wasn't really much I could do about it. How often did you have to massage? So I started massaging a week after, and it was every hour that I had to massage. So you had to do, you had to massage from the top, then the side, then the bottom, and then inside as well. So you had to do all 4 corners, and each one had to be 30 seconds long. What you have to do is you lay your hand like where the top of the breast implant is. You lay your hand, and this section you're going to push down on it, and you can feel the implant move to the bottom. And at first it kind of feels a little painful. It feels like your skin's gonna like bust open, but it's not. It's just the pocket. And then that pushes the implant down and you hold it for 30 seconds. Then on the inside, you do the same thing and you push, and the implant will go to your right. You hold that for 30 seconds. Down below, you push, and then the implant will go up, and you hold that for 30 seconds. And then this side, it was actually, yeah. So this side, you bring your hand over here and you use this hand and you push it in. And that's gonna move the implant towards the center. Do you still get stings at times? No, I don't get any stings at all. The only thing that I do get is like itchy spots. And those itchy spots, it's like that itch that you can't scratch. You go over it and it's like it's underneath the skin and you'll never get to it, and it drives me crazy. And how does it feel when running? It feels fine. I mean, they're not bouncing all over the place. I wear tight sports bras, so they're always kept in place. They're not going all over the place. So as long as you wear a good sports bra, it doesn't even affect you. Do you regret getting them? I'm a 38 triple D, but the girls aren't perky, so to speak. What would be your advice for someone my size looking to get rid of the sag? Do I regret getting them? No, never, not once, not at all. I actually want to get them done again, so I have zero regrets. And advice, looking to get rid of the sag. Now, advice, I'm not sure if you're talking about something surgical, but if you are, there are breast lifts, and I actually know a couple of people who have gotten them, and they said that it was the most amazing thing they ever did, that they wish they should have done it sooner. Next question, does the surgery leave bad scarring or scars at all? If you take care of the scarring and you put, like I put Mederma on, to me, I can very faintly see the scar. And that's because I know that I got implants, so I know exactly where to look. But if someone else were to see it, they would not see the scar at all. But you need to take care of it, and you need to put on the correct ointment. Okay, someone else asked, and it's one I have been worried about. Do you lose sensation? That would suck. Haha. So that first question, do you lose sensation? It varies from person to person. I, however, did lose sensation. Not all of it, but there are sections, like there's a portion down here where I can feel my hand running around it, but it feels a little bit numb. So I can kind of feel it, but not completely. And then there, like the bottom portion of my nipple where the cut is at, that portion is a little bit numb as well. I thought I would be super bummed about it because I was thinking the same thing, but I mean, it doesn't even bother me at all. How are you able to work it into your budget? Did you save up, or can this be financed like LASIK surgery? So I actually saved up. I paid for it cash, but there are some surgeons that do have they have financing for you if you can't afford it or you can't pay cash. How did you ease your way into being comfortable? I really want my boobs done because after breastfeeding, well, yeah, but I feel self-conscious about my friends and family judging me for it. There was no easing into it. I was comfortable 100%, and that's partly because my mom has them, my cousin has them, and my aunt had them or has them. So my family wasn't going to judge me. I mean, we're familiar with it, so it wasn't anything that I was worried about or worried about being judged. I was so excited. Do you get hater looks because of your boobs? I'm sure I do, but I don't really pay attention. I know there's been a lot of people like on social media, but social media is social media. Like, those people are stupid. If they have something dumb to say about my boobs, then they can freaking, I'll titty slap them or something. But no, in all seriousness, I think the only hate I get sometimes is on social media, but you can't even take what those people say seriously. They're just people hiding behind a fake picture or something stupid like that. But out in public, I don't pay attention to like people around me. I do see people stare, but I don't know what they're staring at. So I mean, it could be the way I'm dressed. And yeah, you know, I dress revealing like when I go out and things like that, but I never pay attention. And when I do, I mean, there aren't bad looks. But I'm sure I do. I have saggy big boobs as I lay down. Mine go to the sides. Do yours stay in place? For the most part, yeah, they stay in place. They'll maybe separate a little bit, but like they don't go underneath my armpits or anything like that. They don't move much. Since you have had your implants, would you still go bigger, or are you happy with the size you are at now? After a certain amount of years, would you have to get them redone? So let me answer the second question. Yes, you have to get them redone between 10 to 13 years. I actually plan to get mine redone hopefully the end of next year, and I want to go bigger. Now, I know a lot of you say that they're big already, but the thing is that this is the one thing that I need to explain. They actually look bigger than they really are. So you guys see me in pictures and you see me in videos and you see me face forward most of the time. They look huge when I'm face forward, but when I'm face to the side, they don't have very much projection. They have some projection, but not a lot. And that is because I got moderate profile. And what that means is they are wider, so the diameter is wider, but they have less projection. So my plan is to get a high profile with the same diameter as my moderates. Do they become super hard? Usually I think of implants making that certain area hard and, for lack of a better word, less jiggly. Well, I absolutely think real breast tissue, your boobs are just bouncing all over the place, which is awesome. But breast implants are definitely a lot more firm than real breast tissue, without a doubt. So they're not going to be as jiggly, but I do get some jiggle. Do you ever feel boxy or can't wear certain types of clothing because of your chest? I have the same issue. I can't wear flowing tops since my augmentation. Do I ever feel boxy? Absolutely. Especially when I first got them done. When I first got them done, I felt like a box because I was so swollen. Do you wish you would have gone smaller or bigger? So this is the thing. I couldn't go bigger. I started off with barely a 32A. Like barely a 32A. When I went to my surgeon, I said that I wanted about 475 cc's, 450 to 475. Well, once you start, there's this thing called booby greed, and the more and more you start looking at photos, the more and more you want them bigger and bigger and bigger. So towards the end, the day of my surgery, or the appointment before my surgery, I told my surgeon, put in whatever you can fit in. And when I woke up, they told me that I had 600 cc's. I was like, what? I didn't even think they were going to be able to fit that much because that's a lot of stretching on my skin. But he was able to fit that in. So 600 was the most he could fit in. I know that time can vary, but for you personally, how will you know when it's time to replace the implants? I don't know if there's like a certain way to know. That's why they give you that time frame between 10 and 13 years. I plan on getting them done next year, and it's only going to be 8 years. How did you overcome the fear, if you had any, of the pain after getting your implants? I heard it's excruciating. So I had literally 0% fear. Nothing. As far as pain being excruciating, like I said, I went through the whole recovery without pain medication. I personally didn't think it was excruciating. I do have a pretty good pain level, but it was more discomfort that's really annoying. I hate being uncomfortable, and just all the discomfort I had was really annoying, and it was frustrating. How do they feel? Are they still soft like natural breasts or firm hard? So I have saline. Saline does not feel natural at all. But then again, I never really had boobs, so I can't compare them to be natural. And the reason I went with saline, I don't know if anybody's gonna ask that, but the reason I went with saline is because in California, I was 21 at the time when I did it, and in California, in order for you to get silicone, you had to be 22. They actually, honestly, like sometimes they feel like a really thick water balloon, to be honest. They don't feel natural at all. I don't think they feel natural, even though I'm not. Just from the little breast tissue that I did have, they don't feel natural. What does the maintenance of the implants consist of? Maintenance, I mean, the maintenance really is just taking care of the scar, which you put ointment on, and the massages, and then replacing them every 10 years. After years of heavy implants, do you ever regret getting them done? No. Do you ever wish you could go back to having cute small breasts? Hell no. Not at all. No way, no way. I think I'm gonna be like an 80-year-old lady with breast implants still. Also, what is some advice you would give someone who is debating whether or not to get implants? My advice would be, don't do it until you're 100% certain, because this is a big surgery. This is, you know, modifying your body. It's definitely, you're gonna see yourself different. I was so happy. It like made me 10 times happier, but I wasn't debating about it. There was no question about whether I wanted to do it or not, because if you're having doubts and you do it, you're probably going to have a miserable recovery. You're not going to feel like the pain was worth it. Now me, I was so excited that I was ready to tackle on whatever was ahead, how painful it was, like I was ready for it. So with fake boobs, is it normal to not wear a bra? Do they stay perky like that all the time, or can they sag over time? I guess what I'm asking is, are they heavy? Are they heavy? I don't really feel like they're heavy, but that could be just because I have saline. Saline isn't as heavy as silicone. And can they sag over time? Yeah, they can. Do I see that happening with mine? No, because my skin is still pretty firm, and when I'm not wearing a bra, like right now I'm not wearing a bra, they still stay up nice. Now, is it normal to not wear a bra? You can absolutely go without a bra. There are so many times where I don't have a bra on, and people are asking how my boobs stay so perky without a bra, and I always tell them it's because I have implants. Implants definitely make it possible for you to go braless. At what age did you get them? I was 21. I'm 20 and not sure if I should get them now or wait. It, again, depends on you. If you really, really, really want to get them, definitely get them. But if California still has the same rules, then you're going to have to get saline. If you're fine with that, then go for it. But like I said, as long as it's because you really, really, really want them. Did they insert your implants through your nipple or under your boob? They inserted them through the areola. If it was through the nipple, are they still in their previous condition? Previous condition, yes. I think, like, as far as scarring, we'll say as far as scarring. Like I said, you can't even tell. And if you're talking about sensation, I still have sensation, but there are some numb areas. Are they under the muscle? Yes, they are under the muscle. Would you recommend under or over the muscle? So this is the question I get a lot. I recommend under the muscle. Now, if you do get under the muscle, your implant is going to be squished squished more. So let's say someone else who has 600 cc's over the muscle, their boobs are going to look a lot bigger than mine. It takes about placing the implant under the muscle takes about 100 cc's away from the projection of the implant. However, I recommend under the muscle because if you plan on breastfeeding, you can still breastfeed. But if you don't plan on having kids and you don't plan on breastfeeding, then you can definitely do over the muscle to get the most projection out of it. I also would like to mention that under the muscle does look a lot more natural. They look less hard. So definitely under the muscle. A girl I met at the bar had silicone implants and they were rock hard, saline or silicone. So I think that rock hard, I think a lot of that has to do, she probably had them over the muscle like I mentioned previously. If you get them over the muscle, they do look a lot more hard as opposed to getting them under the muscle. Silicone and saline, whether they're silicone or saline, that doesn't determine whether they're going to look hard or not. Saline actually feels more natural, and she probably had a high profile. Was Jay supportive about your decision to get breast implants? He wasn't fond of me wanting to get it done, but I had told him from the very beginning, like when we first started talking, before we started dating, that I had planned to get my boobs done and I was so excited and I was saving my money. So he knew that it was a decision that I had already made before we started dating. So he didn't feel like he had the right to, you know, kind of tell me, no, don't do it, you can't do it, or anything like that. He supported my decision, but he wished I didn't do it, but he enjoys them, so I'm sure he's happy. How has your perception of yourself changed since getting your boobs done, if at all? My confidence skyrocketed, and I don't want to say that, you know, the way for your confidence to go up is to get plastic surgery. That's not what I'm saying, but it was something I had wanted to do forever. I hated having small boobs. Like, there were always so many cute tops that I wanted to wear, and I couldn't because I had nothing to fill in the cups or nothing to fill the top in. And I hated it. And I felt like, you know, I looked like a little girl because my face, I've always had kind of like a younger looking face. So I just felt like I looked 10 years old, you know what I mean? On a scale of 1 to 10, how was the pain during recovery and how was it when you literally woke up after surgery? So I would say the pain was maybe about a 6. Like I said, it wasn't bad, but there was pain. It was more discomfort. And when I woke up, as I mentioned before, it just felt like someone was on top of me. I felt really sore. You can't raise your arms up for a while. How many cc's did you receive? The implant was 575 filled to 600 cc's, so they're 600 cc's. How have the implants changed over the years? They've definitely gotten softer. The pockets became less visible, and what I mean by the pockets is when you first get them done, you look like your boobs are square and you're like freaking out because you're like, I have square boobs, but it's the pockets. But you can see that when I push them up like this one, the pocket's more visible, so it still kind of has that little square look right there. This one has more of a round shape. Have you had any problems with them shifting or hardening? No, not at all. And what about using your own body fat? I just started hearing that you can use your own body fat. I think it's a great idea if your body doesn't absorb the fat back in, because I know with Brazilian butt lifts, your body has the potential to absorb that fat and you just end up with flat ass again. So I don't know if it's the same for the boobs, but if you can use your own fat and it will stay there permanently, I would definitely say use your own fat. I'd like to know how your implants feel from day to day, like swimming, bathing, sleeping. Do you notice them? Do you ever feel uncomfortable? You know, honestly, I forget sometimes that I have implants because they don't bother me. They're not uncomfortable. The only time where they can be uncomfortable is when I lay on my stomach, but then again, I've never been a stomach sleeper. So laying on my stomach has always been comfortable, but I mean when the pressure's like pushing them down, yeah, that can be uncomfortable. But aside from that, I mean, I can run, I can swim, I can do anything, and they don't get in the way. How long did it take you to decide that you wanted to get an augmentation? I honestly wanted them forever, since like high school. Was breast augmentation your first surgery? Yes, it has been my first and only surgery. I haven't had any other surgeries. I have mentioned before that I do plan on getting my nose done. That one I'm kind of freaking scared about, so I've been holding that off. I'm still kind of on the fence about it. So those are all the questions you guys asked me. They were all really good questions. I feel like I pretty much answered everything for you guys. If there's anything that you did not get around to asking me, comment down below and I'll just reply to you there. I won't have to make another video. If you have not checked out my breast augmentation experience video, then you can check that one out. So that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this video and I'll see you soon.